I'm feeling called to do a naked method update. It's been a little over a year of being on this naked journey. I didn't have a name for it until just a couple months ago, but it truly has been releasing, detoxing, vulnerability, authenticity, feeling all your feels, shedding, oh, like leaning in to what feels good, leaning out from what doesn't feel good, speaking up for myself, regulating myself, systems, organization, like you name it. And the naked method has been working its magic when I've like let go of resistance. And so since I've been on this journey for over a year now, it I wish I could tell you that like I'm through the thick of it. Because I would love to say that. I feel close. I feel very, very, very close through the thick of it. My husband always laughs at me in the best way possible because I'll say things like, we're closer than we are far away. And I do feel that. I feel like I'm closer than I am far away. And when I like really step back and like write down my life this time last year versus my life now, it is night and day different. And that tells me that it's like working its magic, and it's so hard to see it when you're in it. And it's equally so easy to go to the hard, right? Like the things that feel heavy, that feel slow, that feel frustrating. It's so easy, I think, to lean into those emotions. Uh, and like the more we can lean into like, oh my gosh, like look at how much progress I've made. Look at all the blessings that have been created. Look at the growth. Like my hair alone is so much growth. It is bananas. Like literally my hair, like this did not exist. None of this existed this time last year, which is just wild, 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 wild. Um, and so I want to give a shout out to Kristen Rourke with Busy Mom Bod for sponsoring this episode. She is one of my dearest friends and is doing great work in the health and fitness and wellness space for busy moms. She actually like without even knowing motivated me to go take a run. It's not easy to fit things in when you have young children, and yet like we've got to make it work. And that's just really what I've been striving to do on this naked method of just like, okay, like how can I make it work? How can I make it work? How can I make it work? Um, so I am always an open book. Whatever you want me to share, like for the most part, I am really happy to share it. Um, I keep some things private because out of respect for my family. But like for the most part, I'm a very, very open book, especially when I know it's something that could benefit you. I am like the most open book when it's like all about you, and I'm happy to go first. Um, I was always that person in class that like volunteered to go first. So it's no surprise that that has carried on into my adult life, and I'm happy to. And I do feel genuinely called to share. It feels wrong to keep the stuff to myself, and equally, I'm through the thick of it that I feel regulated to share things that are in a way that it's productive to you. So I always like keep that in mind as well. Like I want to be real and raw and authentic, and equally I want to be able to have something to like share with you and be like, here's a solution. So let's like dive into updates about the naked method as of even just a few weeks. Something real quick. It was having a hard time connecting to my internet. So let's just update like we'll go with like wins first, and then I'll get into like some of the rawness. So wins, like I mentioned, the hair growth. My goal is to like get it to here. Obviously I wanted to keep going, but like I do look forward to when I can get it all up in like a messy bun. for days that I don't want to do my hair. But I am enjoying, like on a positive note, I am enjoying like the little half pony, messy bun look. I haven't had that look in a really long time, and that it's been really enjoyable, and I feel really girly, and I've missed that. As much as I loved my wigs era, I actually threw all of them away on the naked journey. I just felt like it was time. It was time to let that part of me go. Um, as we're progressing through life, we're supposed to evolve. And so it was a time in my life that was like super fun. And just one day, I was like, you know what? I think it's time to bag them all up and throw them away. And I think that's the part about the naked method that I love, is that there's no like, on this day you must do this, on this day you must do that. Like, you're co-creating the naked method in real time with yourself. And you're really listening to your inner knowing more and more and more, and trusting it and moving forward. There's been so many beautiful surprises, like, back in February is when we decided that come summer, we're going to pull Boone out of daycare. Uh, and both kids are going to be home with me, which literally gave us a $20,000 annual raise for all the childcare expenses. And so, like, that was just not something that I saw coming. Like, Emma was in daycare pretty much like all, like, since she was really little. Like, the pandemic happened, but like, after that calmed down, she was in daycare until she went to kindergarten. Um, and so that surprised me, and I felt like mentally ready. I had plenty of time to like get things ready. So that's been a huge blessing. Like, there are some days that are challenging, but all in all, like, I am just so incredibly happy to be with my kids, have a flexible schedule, be able to fit things in small pockets of time. I'm working very odd hours, but to have the flexibility is worth millions of dollars, in my opinion. Like, the flexibility, I would say most people do not have that opportunity. And we created it. Like, it was something that we desired, and it took a little bit of time. It took a little bit of creativity, but we made it happen. And that has just, like, not even just for a financial reason, but like just even more than that, emotionally, it's been phenomenal. And I am looking forward to like when Emma goes back to school, and it will be like me and Boone. I feel like we'll be in a little bit more of a structure. At least I'm going to tell myself that. When she goes back to school, because there's like a set time that she has to be at school, then we'll have like a window where we come home, we can do some things, he'll nap, I'll have like some quiet time to work. This is what I tell myself. We'll see, right? Like, we'll see. But and then we'll go pick her up, then have family time, all the things. So yeah, hair growth, kids are both home, um, training for a full marathon. I am really working on prioritizing that, because I do not want to injure myself, and I am very, very committed to seeing this full marathon through. Um, we've been hitting some huge strides within Wealthy Mama movement, with just sponsors coming on board, um, making the digital magazine a thing come November. And it's just been really beautiful to see. Like, I've been able to like meet some really cool women, just do business a little bit differently, but still like have so much like connection with other women. I've really, really enjoyed. Um, and it's working, and it's beautiful. And I told my husband yesterday, if you were to look at my calendar, like my Google calendar, it has never been this naked, ever, ever in my entire life. The way my calendar looks, like, I could cry. And I will tell you, and we'll kind of segue to more like some of the vulnerable stuff. I am still regulating myself around it. It doesn't always feel safe having a naked calendar. I am used to being in like Zoom calls back to back, podcast, interviews, lunch meeting, like boom, 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 like being a busybody. But that was actually like the beginning of the naked method of like, what am I pretending not to know? What am I still like numbing from. Because as much as I love my business, it was consuming me. Um, and so it's been a few weeks now of the most nakedest schedule I've ever had. And don't get me wrong, the days are still busy, but there's not planned meetings that I have to be in. And it's for the best because if I was on back to back Zoom calls, it would not be helpful for anyone. And that wouldn't be fair to anyone. And I knew that. And so I, made some conscious decisions because of that. Um, which also leads me to like financial shifts. So like I'm not able to be on Zoom calls as readily. So like I've had to get like super scrappy as we've been like navigating internal shifts in the company. Like offers look different. They're priced differently. The terms are different. Um, and so there's a lot of regulation around people coming and going, and I'm all for that. Like, I don't want to force anyone to be here. And so I've really realized that, like, I will always love and be like the wealthy mama movement CEO. And now I'm layering in non mentoring revenue streams because I truly, genuinely want it to feel like it is just I want it to feel like it's a nonprofit organization. Like I would love like whatever we make it just like goes right back out. Like I know that sounds odd, but it truly is like my fulfillment. And so there's that like slippery slope where like it's so fulfilling to you, but equally like it's your job. And so like I wrestle with the balance between being CEO and being mentor, and that is challenging. Like I'm not going to pretend that it's not, because I have a business to run. I have people that I need to pay that I've given my word. So I've been really navigating those like financial shifts, and I know I can do it. I am doing it. But it's just different. Like it's just different. And it is helping me see some gaps that, like I said, I'm like, okay, you know what? I really desire some additional revenue streams that are more affiliate marketing. Like I really want to grow my affiliate marketing streams. I want to grow e-commerce. I want to grow collaborations in a way that like align with my life and everything, be more behind the scenes, apply for grants. So like, just the more we can make everything we do super affordable, the better. Um, and there's just like that really sticky but beautiful balance between like, I want to make it as affordable as possible, and equally like I've got commitments to team members, I've got commitments to my family. So I've just been navigating that balance of, what does that look like? How does it feel? Um, and that is probably the hardest part about the naked method is you feel all the feelings all at once, 24/7, because you're literally standing naked in front of yourself. Like there is no hiding. Like there is no hiding. You are confronting. I don't even love the word confronting. You are facing yourself. And I've been really working through not shaming myself through the naked method, because it's really easy when you like grew up not feeling like you were enough. So I've been really striving to like lean in and love myself through it, because shaming yourself doesn't get you much of anywhere but more icky feelings. So I've been really like balancing that of, you know what, problem solving mode. Like I am the master problem solver. And so I've just been leaning into that as I've been navigating my emotions. And it truly is the hardest part about the naked method. One day I will write a book. Maybe it'll be like a picture book or an audio book, because moms don't have time to sit down and read. Um, I'll make you a picture book. I won't be naked in it, I promise. But like, I think the name is so fitting because you literally are like standing naked in front of yourself and the whole world. even if the whole world doesn't know that you're naked, it feels that way. Like that's the only way I can describe it. Um, and so like you can probably see like I've had lots of like acne breakouts and I've just been allowing those to like let themselves out and I'm like it's no accident that like my face is breaking out. Like I'm literally like releasing so much that I've penned up for so long. Um and so like allowing yourself to like work through that is a beautiful process, but also so challenging. Um, and so, yeah, so the acne breakouts have been fun because I'm almost, what, 34? I think I'm almost 34. I lose track of my age. Um, and I have been dealing with acne since I was in fifth grade, on and off. So that's been fun. But I'm working through it. My sleep is, it's all over the place, not only because of like summer schedule, but like all the emotions. But I really am leaning into the Taylor Swift song. Like I can do it with a broken heart. I don't feel like I have a broken heart, but I feel like I'm feeling all the emotions, but yet I don't feel emotional. It's a hard feeling to describe. Like I feel all of the emotions, but I feel super regulated through them. Like I could have a candid conversation with you right now, even if 5 minutes ago I was like feeling all the feelings. Like I feel like almost like I'm training my body and my mind to like regulate themselves, almost like a thermostat. Like if you have, like we have a thermostat called the Nest, and there's like a window of a temperature, and it will like auto regulate. Oh, there's a bunny. That's the only way I can describe how it feels. It's like I'm like my body and emotions, go up and down. And that's just being a woman in general, not even if you're doing the naked method, but they feel a little bit more extreme because I'm not masking, I'm not hiding, I'm not numbing. Um, and so, but I really do feel like I've been training my brain and body to like regulate itself and stay neutral and stay calm and stay in action mode. We'll end on a happy note. Just in the last few weeks, the amount of action that I've taken, it's blowing my own mind. Like truly, I have been moving motherfucking mountains. Like every opportunity I see that aligns, I have pitched myself for it. I've reached out to more people than I've ever reached out to. I've been sending happy mail. I've been, you know, adding myself to Facebook groups, researching things, going live and sharing money making opportunities. I'm hosting an info session tomorrow. Um, I've just been inviting people to work with me, looking for other opportunities, like I mentioned, outside of mentoring and just expanding myself. Like, I don't believe we should put ourselves in a box. Do I love mentoring and teaching? Absolutely. I pretended to be a teacher when I was a little girl and have like students. Like, it's in who I am just as much as like I raised my hand to be first for all the things in school. So, like, teaching and giving back and supporting people it's in my blood, it's in my soul, it's who I am. And equally at times I feel like I have put myself in a box of like, well, that's the only thing I can do, that's my whole identity. And I'm just like, huh, what other things do I love to do? Like, I love fashion, I love networking, I love sales, I love marketing. Like, what do I really, really love? What am I really, really good at? And how can I continue to monetize that, even if it's behind closed doors? Like, it doesn't always need to be front stage and center. And so that epiphany has been eye opening and opening a lot of doors, which has been really, really exciting. So, I think what's next for the naked method is, continuing to grow out the hair. There's still some like back end organization that I would love to like just complete. It will feel really, really good. Um, and the cool part about where the Wealthy Mama movement is going is it's becoming more and more hands off, meaning like I don't always have to have like my pulse on it. And that's been an interesting moment too. Like everyone was saying like you should be on the cover of the the Wealthy Mama magazine. And I'm like, I think that that's the sweetest thing ever. And equally, I want someone else to shine. Like, I don't need to be the person. I didn't name it the Nellie movement. And I did that on purpose. Like, I want this to be a legacy. I want this to bless so many women. Um, the the traditional workforce is not set up for women, for moms to thrive. And it really hurts my heart because it is suppressing so many women from feeling super confident because typically one person has to stay home. Like daycare is so freaking high. Um, so one person has to stay home. Typically, it is the mom. Doesn't always have to be, but normally it still is the mom. She loses herself. She doesn't feel financially independent. She feels super lonely. She feels just like, what am I doing? Like, as much as she loves her kids, you know, traditional jobs do not cater to moms with young children. They just don't. Like, even if your kids are in grade school, typically they need to be dropped off at 8 or 9 a.m. and then they have to be picked up at 2, 3, or 4 p.m. And that's not conducive for most work schedules. Um, I hope that changes because I think having a traditional job can be a huge, huge blessing. I will never shame people that have a traditional job. I think it's amazing. Um, it can be a huge wealth strategy just as much as entrepreneurship can be, just as much as a hybrid of the two can be. But they like a lot of traditional jobs just don't make it easy. And so then, there's a lot of moms trying to figure this stuff out online, and that's why we exist. Like, if you know of any moms that want to start an online business, have started an online business, and are just looking for a community to support them, not only with training, but like love and encouragement and just support along the way, like, please pass our name along. I'm striving to make it more and more affordable and accessible. We have tons of scholarships. Um, you know, I have literally stripped my spending as low as I possibly can make it without sacrificing like paying my team. But I do not have an office space. I don't really go shopping. I don't get my nails done. And that's not to like make anyone feel bad. Like that I am all in, like all in. I have literally like thought about tattooing wealthy mama movement on my body because that's how invested I feel in this. Um, and so my next focus is grants because I know there's a lot of grants out there. I've applied for two so far. They're a slower process. I have a lot of experience with grant writing. They're a slower process, but man, can they be a huge blessing. So if you know of anyone that wants to sponsor or if you know of any grants, let me know. We are a for-profit company, but I'm really shaping it and molding it to feel like the most inspirational, impactful, mission driven company for moms. And there's lots more in my brain and my heart that I want to develop. And it's patience, 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 and persistency. So yeah, feeling all the feels and striving to enjoy myself during the process as much as I can. But I just want you to know it's not always easy. I have so many moments where I'm just like, why God? Like, why me? Like, why? Because this is so challenging at times. But then I have moments where I'm like, thank God it's me. Like, thank God it's me. I've had so many beautiful moments where I feel so blessed to be a part of them or, glad that I could be there for somebody. So just as much as we question ourselves, we get to lean into our amazingness, our badassery, our gifts, our time, our talents, what our heart is telling us to do. And like that's been probably the biggest thing with the Naked Method is I've been getting all the noise out of my head and moving forward. Okay. I love you. If you have any questions, let me know.